Okay.
What it do, baby? It's been a long time coming. It's been a
Lord help us all.
long time
Happy
coming,
New
but
Year.
I know a change gonna come. It's a new year.
New year.
Things have changed.
Less singing, please.
Don't start. This is a new year. You ought to have your resolution needs to be nicer to me on the podcast. In life in general.
Do you want me to be nice to you or be honest with you?
Nice, please.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
You hit that note.
How was your new year?
It was great.
Well, or tell the people how you typically bring in the new year. Maybe you'll inspire them.
Okay, I usually bring in the new year reflecting, worshiping, crying. I get overwhelmed with the Lord. And then the fireworks go off. I go outside, and I come back in. I hate fireworks. So, and my dog has crippling anxiety. So we don't do too much.
So you have to be hanging out chilling.
Yeah, I'm usually comforting him because he's shaking.
But mostly it's just like a time of reflection for you to reflect on the past year and what God has done in your life.
What went well, what I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long does that usually last if you do the whole year? Because you were pretty good at journaling your life. So.
Yeah. It doesn't take too long. Maybe like less than an hour.
Oh, okay.
Maybe about it. It just depends. If I'm by myself, I'll take longer. But if I'm with other people.
With other people, right?
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's great.
What about you?
We went to see the fireworks show. It was a great time.
Great. It looks fun.
And then I went home and went to sleep.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice. It was cool.
Great. So. I also don't like the idea of staying up late. Like, why can't I just go to sleep and wake up and be like, Happy New Year's at like 8 a.m.? Because I like to sleep. So
yeah, but that's not really. It's not really festive.
I know.
You know. But I was so tired. I went home. I crashed after we saw the fireworks. I got home maybe like 1 o'clock.
See, I mean, I was also up, but it's just like, let's just all go to sleep.
Lazy. That's crazy.
Well, I think about all the dogs in the world who have anxiety, all the babies that are trying to sleep, and it just is unnecessary. But I celebrate because I'm a follower.
All right, now I did promise today to share my goofy.
Yes.
Like every
you
podcast,
got a few.
I'm gonna share. I got a list, y'all. Y'all need to pray for y'all pastor.
At least 3, but you maybe pick the top one.
I don't know which one to top. I'll try the 2. I'll tell 2. Well, I preached in the morning service this Sunday morning.
Well, that kind of overflowed into the night service.
What you mean?
This mistake you're about to say.
You
did it again.
No, I didn't. Okay. Let me share one first.
Okay.
Okay. So, as my first opportunity to preach in the morning service, which is
you did a great job. It was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
People were raving.
Which was like an honor. It's like an honor for you to be able to preach in the morning service.
The whole thing by yourself.
The whole thing by myself. Right. And I get down airline. Which our church is on airline. And I realized that I don't have my iPad, which has all of my
everything
notes.
You need.
So like, you don't forget your iPad, your notes when this is your first time preaching in the morning. So that was my first goofy of the week. Started early at 8 o'clock. All right. And then after that, I forgot what happened after that.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, say it.
The misspoken.
No,
word?
I'm not saying that. Are you curious? You're tripping.
I don't know what the second one is then, because that's what I was thinking.
I forgot there's something else. Oh, no. The second goofy was after I finished preaching the first service, I didn't mute my mic.
Yes.
And so I went to the back and I was talking to one of the other pastors and we were making jokes and people could hear the whispers of what we were saying. They couldn't make out what we were saying. Yeah. Hallelujah. But but they could hear us. And so we just had a good laugh about that. But that could have been reckless. Yeah. Well, it was reckless. It could have been worse. It could have been worse.
Well, in 2024, I would like for you to have less goofy moments.
Oh, I'm probably going to give you a goofy every week. Now, and let me just say this. I'm not going to try to give you a goofy. I try to be.
Well, here's the thing. Ever since you mentioned them, every time I've hung out with you, you've done one with me. So.
Yeah, but that's just like
you are, yeah.
Okay. You stop laughing. You should not laugh at this.
Anyway. Yeah. But the message was great.
Yes, it was good.
It was good.
It blessed me. It challenged me. It encouraged me as well. So I'm glad to hear that everybody was impacted by it as well. You know, I hope we be doers of the word. That's the name of the game. So
absolutely.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
I'm so happy to see y'all. It's been so long since we've seen y'all.
Let's hope he behaves.
Okay, let's go.
Your first point was to call out to God for help.
Call on him. Call on him. Oh, Lord.
That didn't sound bad.
Nah, it ain't bad. I can really sing for real. Sometimes.
Anyways.
My voice, it's a new year, new me. And I'm by the end of the year.
Your voice sounds the same.
No. By the end of the year, I might be a celebrity singer. By the end of the year. Just might be. You know
Please,
what I'm saying?
you're
just
wilding out.
via the podcast. The podcast might blow up solely because of how well I can sing.
We'll check back in December 2024.
We not saving these clips, huh? We not. We can't pull up.
Oh, I absolutely
can't pull
am.
up old
Every
clips.
single. No, yes, I'm saving every single one.
That's crazy.
Okay. Call out to God for help.
Yes.
When was the last time you called out to God for help?
But right before we started this podcast, and I knew you was gonna be on it with me, I said, Lord, I need you because this is gonna be extremely difficult to get through. But He's helping me a lot right now. Now you can laugh. Yeah, that's funny. Anyway, I did call out to the Lord for help as I ushered into the new year.
Did you?
I did. And I would have you know, I've even got a couple goals for myself this new year.
Wow.
Which, if you don't know,
Clap with me.
I'm not really.
He's not a goal setter.
I'm not a goal setter.
For 4 years, his goal was to be a pastor. And
That's
he was
not.
already a pastor.
That's not true.
Be a good pastor.
There you go. Be a good pastor. So anyway,
You have new goals.
I have new goals.
Specific goals.
Yes.
What are they?
My new goals is to work out 3 times a week.
That's doable for you.
Yes, it's more than doable. When I was working out earlier,
Way
like the
more
first
than
half of
3
the year, I was
times.
doing 4 times a week.
Okay, cool.
But like 3 is
That's
like
great.
I know I can. You know what I'm saying? I can definitely do 3. So,
Okay.
I can do 3 of those. I want to read. How many books I want to read? I want to read 7 books.
Look at you.
I want to read 7 books.
I love that.
Right.
Leaders are readers.
Half of them pertaining to scripture because that's just like my favorite world to be in, and then other books are more leadership oriented books.
See, the Lord be answering my prayers.
Did you call out to Him for help?
I did. And I was like,
So-
Darius should probably read more books.
Yeah.
And look at you.
I mean, I do read books. I just read books specific to my classes, and so, but those are just like, all right, write this paper type of thing, you know. But anyway,
Great.
yes. What about you? Any goals that you set for yourself?
I have a lot.
Okay, just share 2 or 3, because it's giving none.
Well, I have a lot. One fun one is to I want to love cooking by the end of the year.
Okay,
it's
Hello
not my
Fresh.
favorite thing, but I'm learning to love it, which means trying new recipes, like whatever, and also love hosting.
Ooh.
Because I now have a home that I like to invite people to, but I want to enhance my skills as a host.
So you're gonna invite me and Daniel over for dinner?
For food and to host.
But
yeah.
it can't be Hello Fresh.
No, it's like a
gotta be,
real recipe. Yeah.
You should make gumbo for us, since apparently you make good gumbo.
I did once. We'll see if I can do it again.
Okay, we'll find out.
Yeah, but I have I have a bunch of categories, and I have goals for the year, and then I have quarter 1 focus things, and then habits monthly.
Good.
So
I think that it's very, very important, and I said this in the message, that we do call out to God for help, especially when we're game planning for the new year, because I genuinely believe that we can't make better goals for ourselves than the goals that the Lord already has for us. You know, we can't rather make better plans for ourselves than the plans that the Lord has for us. And so I think in order for us to be able to discern what His plans are, it just requires us to ask Him about it fundamentally. Like the first step is just saying, like, Lord, I want to include you into this process, because I think what happens is, for me, what I've learned is, even when I can't meet the goals, when I don't meet the goals that I set for myself during the year, I can rest assured that it's okay, because I've been allowing the Lord to lead and guide my life. Yeah. And even though they haven't happened yet, doesn't mean they never will happen, you know? And so there's a sense of assurance and confidence and hope that comes with being led by the Lord as you venture through the year, and you involving Him in your New Year's plans and your goals and things of that nature.
2 things.
2.
1, when you let the Lord guide you, there's also goals that pop up that the Lord's like, I want you to do this, that was not on your radar.
Yes.
For example,
Absolutely.
Last year, I taught Bible study on the tabernacle.
Yes.
I did not want to do that.
You did not.
But it was the highlight of my year.
And you did a great job.
Literally, it was the the number one moment of the year. And I would have never like planned for myself to do that. So the second thing is I feel like sometimes the Lord can shift what you think your vision or plan is in a specific area. Like, for example, we're preparing for the fast, and I was writing about a vision for my family. And I was thinking of, like, my future family. And the Lord's like, no, you should actually have a vision for, like, your mom and dad and cousins and sister and like that. Sure. So, like, I was wanting to think my family was in one direction. He's like, let's do this first with me. So I think it's just important that you invite him into that process because he reveals what he needs you to work on and move towards, not necessarily what you want. And we want it to line up.
Exactly. That's good. Good stuff.
And once we have that vision, we got to do something.
You got to do something.
My favorite point of the whole message was you should have enough faith to be obedient. Because I feel like sometimes it's opposite. Like, as you are obedient, you grow faith, which is also true.
Yes.
But, like, I never thought of it the other way. Like, have enough faith that whatever he says to do, you'll do and follow blindly because you know who you're following. And I just love that.
Yeah. I mean, because like I said in the message, like some things that we want, he wants to use us to bring us there, to get us to that place, right? He wants to use us to accomplish those things. But we never see those things happen in our life because we spend more time talking to God about it than doing things with God about it. You know? So like when you say it out loud, it kind of makes sense, right?
It's like, you sound goofy just
like
and
we talk about it. Like now he's giving me instructions on what to do with what I've asked him about, and then I like don't follow up and do it, you know? And I think that's important for us to understand because if we really examine our life, we might find that that's the disconnect. The disconnect is not that God isn't looking to answer your prayers. He's just looking for you to move so that he can answer your prayers, right?
And he's trying to answer it, but you didn't do what he...
But you didn't do what you want him to do. Right. You know? And so it's like when you ask God, just for the sake of example, like if you ask God to make you a gumbo and he sends you to the store to get you some ingredients, but you never go get the ingredients, but you mad at him because he ain't never made you a gumbo. What if you go get the ingredients, maybe he'll make you a gumbo. You know what I'm saying?
Good analogy.
You know, I'm going to do it all right a little bit.
I'll never compliment you again.
So my point...
No, that's good. Like
but the point is, like, take God's instructions. So, like, if God is leading you to do something, have enough faith to follow up in obedience because the Lord desires to help you. He wants to help you. And that doesn't mean his instructions are easy. It is very difficult for my mama to send me to the store. I struggle. Okay, I hate going to the store.
Okay,
I'm sorry, but
sorry, Mom.
but if I follow the instructions and I follow the rules, everything works out well. You know, it's the same way, and I walk with the Lord. And I really want people to grasp that so that they can see the prayers that they're praying be answered. Because sometimes they will never be answered because God's never going to do it unless He does it through you, and that's just the reality of it.
In my reflecting New Year's Eve, I was with a few friends, and we were talking about like consistency. Like we're good for like a month and then we fall off. Sure. We're good for a week and then we fall off. And I think this idea of what you talked about in your third point, like leveling up your faith, like you just need enough faith for the next step.
Yes.
So like, yes, I want to read my Bible consistently, like if that's a goal that you have, but like that doesn't mean you're reading 6 chapters a day.
Right.
You're sitting down and you're reading a verse. You're reading a chapter. You're sitting down, you're praying for longer than you did the previous day, and doing like just the next right step will get you further than trying to like be like all or nothing. Right. That kind of mindset is not very helpful.
Yeah, because I was thinking about my goals, my workout goals, because I want to get back into the gym like I was at the beginning of 2023. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to work out 150 times this year. Like this big number. It's like, maybe I should just like say, let me just take it week by week and say, I'm going to do 3 out of 7 days. If I can do 3 out of 7 days, that's a win, you know? And then, you know, as I go along, I might go back to 4 days, you know, but I've set for myself, the point I'm trying to make is I've set for myself manageable, reachable goals, right? That breeds further success, right? Because like there's no win in setting a goal for 7 days a week, you know, because like I'm going to miss days. So now I never get to celebrate. I never get to feel good about myself. Yeah. Then now it's just like every week I feel defeated because I miss days. Well, if I set a realistic goal and I just take it the first step, then I can build some confidence. I can build some momentum. And then, you know, I can be more consistent than I even anticipated being at the beginning of the year towards the end of the year, right? But it's always setting manageable goals. And that's the point of taking it step by step. Like, don't allow yourself to be overwhelmed by being at the end result. Just focus on today. And you know, my big slogan is just be faithful. If you can be faithful with today, then you'll walk into what you're asking for tomorrow. You'll walk into what God has for you tomorrow. But just focus on being faithful today. What does obedience look like in your life today? In your personal life, in your personal devotion time, while you're at work or school, like whatever it is, like just day by day builds consistency and discipline. And before you know it, you look around, it's like, dang, I'm strong because I've been in the gym for real, you know. But you gotta just hit me back up in 6 months, and we'll talk about that.
And I think there's like a balance between like pushing yourself and being disciplined and sacrificing, and also giving yourself grace.
Sure.
Like, let's say you have a goal to go to the gym 3 days a week. Well, every day that you go, you might not do this hour-long like intense HIIT workout, but like you went. You lifted some weights, you moved your body, even if it's for 10 minutes, but you went.
You showed up.
Right? So, like, you keep the promises that you make to yourself, but in doing so, you're also giving yourself grace and still moving towards your goal. Like, what can you do?
Absolutely.
You can go and stretch. You know, or like some days you might be like, I'm PRing today. You know, like it just
what they say,
depends.
A win is a win.
Right.
Win is a
but
win.
like you're gonna go and you're gonna make yourself go, and then what you do there depends on, you know.
Sure. And not that you should make not that you should be consistently like showing up, but like giving below the bar effort, you know. But like some days that's just all you got, you know. But you showed up anyway, and like that's a win.
And you're better for it.
And you're better for it, exactly. So.
And then when you get the win, don't forget to thank them.
Don't forget to thank them.
This is what gets me every time. I feel like I've learned in 2023 to be very like, wow, this is happening. You know, like I'm sitting in what I used to pray about, which is why I'm always crying, because I just am overwhelmed.
We don't know what you've been through. We don't know what you was asking God for.
No,
I was on my knees pleading and desperate, and God showed up for me.
If I spoke like that, that's what I would sound like. Absolutely. And so it's always sweet. Like, obviously celebrate your big and small wins with your friends and milestones, but like get before the Lord.
Sure.
Because it's only because of Him.
Sure. And what it's supposed to do, it's supposed to, when God answers our prayers, it's supposed to catapult our faith, right? Like, we're in the Heart of Blaze series, and so like what I think about it as is like when God blesses us, it's almost like He's giving us a spark. And with that spark, we're supposed to cultivate a spiritual fire with it, right? The God blessed me, you on this high, you excited. Like, that should push you to read more. That should push you to pray more and like share about His goodness more, like all these things. But I think the reason why this series is so important is because what we can easily do is take that spark that God gives us and like go be on fire for something else and go be on fire for somebody else, right? But it's like, and then we get to a point in our life where it's like, man, it's kind of hard to maintain this spiritual fire. It's like, yeah, because every time God gives us a spark, we go be on fire for something else, somebody else, right? So the idea is that you come back to the Lord, and when you come back to thank Him, you fan that flame, right? And it grows, but it grows for the Lord. And your relationship with the Lord strengthened, your faith is leveled up, your obedience level increases, right? And you want to call out to God more because you know when you do and you follow up in obedience, your faith grows and your relationship with Him grows. And you realize, well, there's no other place I really need to run other than to the feet of Jesus. And you just make a habit. Now your life habit is to live a life of gratitude because you know the Lord has got you, you know, come what may. So I'm about to preach all over again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you also like you steward that answered prayer better when you know you had nothing to do with it and you didn't deserve it.
Please.
It's like, okay, God answered this prayer. I have no choice but to like surrender it to Him and steward it with excellence because He made it happen and He trusts me with this blessing. So like I need to steward it well, which encourages you to stay obedient and keep moving and taking action, all that stuff. So do we want to talk about start, stop, continue, or do we
let's talk about start, stop, continue. Because you introduced start, stop, continue to me.
I do it all the time.
And I think
everything.
The reason why we should talk about it is because it's a practical piece of information to like to pursue that kind of helps you have a different, better life in the year 2024. So explain to us.
So basically, it's just what it says. Like, you write down things that you're going to stop doing. And let's talk about faith in our walk. Like, what am I going to stop doing that's keeping me from growing closer to the Lord? What am I going to start doing that I'm not doing now? And what am I going to continue doing? And I think that continue piece is probably the most important because it reminds you that like you're not all bad and you're not missing the mark. There are things that you're doing that you just need to continue doing. What may just be coming to church, come to the block on Sunday. Okay, you're consistently coming, continue doing that, and also stop and start these other things. So I feel like it's a good, well-rounded way to evaluate where you are and how to get you to where you want to go.
And now, is that
It's
a
really
part
powerful.
of your New Year's reflection?
Oh, yeah.
When you
So I have like all these categories with goals, and then every goal has a start, stop, continue. It's actually quite
That's really good.
insane.
I know we're in the season where people are like making vision boards and all these things. I just thought this would be a great piece for them to like take into that as they like just putting goals. Like, okay, but here's how I'm going to reach those goals.
Yeah.
Because I think that's like one of the parts we miss when we're setting goals for the new year. Like we got all these goals, but we don't talk about how we're going to reach them. Like the practical day-to-day, this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
This is a helpful guide to figuring that out.
Yeah.
In order for me to reach this goal, I got to stop doing certain things. I got to start doing other things. I got to continue to do other things, just maybe at a more increased rate to get to where I want to go.
And that may change. Like February may come around and you're
Oh,
like, okay, I stopped doing this, but I should also stop doing this. Or like, I started doing this, I'm going to continue it. So it's kind of like a good check-in throughout the year as
Are
well.
you surprised at the statistic that only 9% of Americans reach their goals and resolutions?
No, not surprised at all.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm also a part of the 91%.
I'm usually always part of that 91%.
But
this year feels different.
hey, day by day, one step at a time.
It's only my third
That's all we
day
can
out
do.
here.
Yeah.
Is it January 3rd?
Yeah.
It's only my third day out here.
Hey, it is on my third day out here. That was hard.
Okay, cool. Any last thoughts?
No, I'm excited about next Sunday.
I am really excited.
We continue it. I feel like this upcoming sermon is going to feel more like a Heart Ablaze message. And so I'm super excited about that.
Me too. Can't wait.
So it's going to be good. So we're going to really be talking about we're going to be into the sustaining your spiritual fire. So what does it look like to maintain
Keep it going.
Keep it going as the year progresses, right? How do we continue it? What are the things we need to either stop, start, or continue to get there? And so I'm really excited about it. It'll be fire.
It's going to be fire.
Fire.
Okay.
You see what I did there?
I did. FaceTime, all three.
All right.
Yep.
Hey, it's good to see you again. We love you
Unless
so
you're on
much.
FaceTime, so the
And we
hearts
see
are
you next week.
Bye.
Let's go.
Okay, good.
All right.
How long was that? 20 something?
22 and a half.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect.
It's good.
So we're under our 30-minute limit.
Okay.
Praise the
Yeah,
Lord.
we'll never go over 30 minutes.
No, we normally.
We rarely ever go over 30 minutes.